well, he's required to speak publicly.
I have received...
Perhaps he should change jobs.
And what of my husband with a king?
And we will need a king whom we can all stand behind.
He's afraid of his own shadow.
My husband has seen everyone.
Insert them into your mouth. Enunciate.
He hasn't seen me.
The King's Speech is the latest entry into the British royalty biographical film genre, this time about King George VI, who's working to overcome a speech impediment so that he can better rule his people and rule his kingdom.
This is before England enters the war, right when Hitler is rising in Germany, and George VI has yet to become king, and in order to do so, he must overcome his speech impediment that he has had since childhood.
Your greatest test is yet to come.
What's he say?
I don't know, but he seems to be saying it rather well.
The future King George VI is about to inherit the crown of England, but there's a problem. He's possibly ill-fit to rule, and this is because he has a speech impediment. And it's not the speech impediment itself, his stammer, that makes him ill-fit to rule. It's his inability to communicate, and it's all of the related anxiety and embarrassment that he feels because of his speech impediment. Between the pressure from the anxiety in his life from a difficult childhood and a difficult present, and a very uncertain future, and his inability to communicate with people because of his speech impediment. All of this is making him really awkward. He's unable to be a figure of authority.
George VI is played by the great Colin Firth. In order to overcome his speech impediment, he has tried different therapists, different methods.
Insert them into your mouth. Enunciate.
He seeks help from a more unconventional source, someone who's said on the street, I suppose, to be the best in the biz. And this guy named Lionel Logue is a different kind of therapist. He combines physical exercise and basically Freudian psychotherapy.
What was your earliest memory?
I'm not here to discuss personal matters.
Well, why are you here then?
Because I bloody well stammer!
Do you know any jokes?
Timing isn't my strong suit.
Dr. Lionel Logue has some unorthodox methods to get rid of the king's speech impediment.
Jack and Jill
Went up the hill.
went up the hill. Who put her in? Little Tommy Tin. Da! Ma! Ba!
Lionel Logue trains the king with various methods, and the two become very close. They become very good friends.
And all of this is going on just before the dawn of World War II. So he finds himself in this position, needing to overcome his fear, overcome his anxiety, overcome these obstacles, to get across and become a sufficient ruler to his people as his nation is seized in the grip of war.
Colin Firth gives a brilliant performance of the king. It's amazing for an actor like that to act out someone with a speech impediment, but he does it brilliantly.
Colin Firth gives an extraordinarily nuanced and complex performance. He uses his external gifts as an actor to really successfully and quite inspirationally even convey this internal struggle that King George VI is going through.
It'll be like mad King George the Stammerer, who let his people down so badly in their hour of need. What are you doing?
And then Geoffrey Rush, as Lionel Logue, plays extraordinarily as well the foil to King George VI. He plays the speech therapist. He's so self-possessed. He's just in control of his character, exquisitely, really.
What are you doing? Get up! You can't sit there! Get up!
Why not? It's a chair.
No, that is not a chair. That is St. Edward's chair.
People have carved their names on it.
Geoffrey Rush is also brilliant. He is tongue-in-cheek. He's tongue-in-cheek. He's witty. He's clever. He's funny. At the same time, he also has moments where you also see his dramatic side of the story and how it weaves in with the story of the king.
Listen to me!
Listen to you by what right?
Because I have a right to be, and I have a voice!
Yes, you do.
The King's Speech really emphasizes the importance of communication.
It's a story about communication, a story about greatness, that words are very powerful.
You have to be a good communicator in order to provide comfort and direction and assurance.
The nation believes that when I speak for them, but I can't speak.
You could do it. You needn't be governed by fear.
The problem with this theme, especially in the context of the film, is that, okay, so George VI is learning to become a better communicator, but this is the dawn of World War II. So George's personal struggle, his internal struggle, can start to feel a little insignificant stacked up against World War II, which isn't solved by someone being an effective communicator. The King's Speech is ultimately a strong movie. It's well written, it's really well acted.
I'd recommend it. Definitely go see it. It's a great biopic. It belongs in the pantheon of other great biopics.
More than anything else, this is a really well-performed movie, and you should see it for that reason.
It's a very fascinating film. It goes into a side of a great story that many of us haven't seen before.
So it might not be the most innovative or imaginative movie overall, and it might seem a little incidental, placed in sort of the scope of time, and especially the scope of the movie itself. You've got World War II versus one person overcoming personal adversity. But it's a well-made movie, and it's a feel-good movie. And because it's the frontrunner currently at the Oscar race, you should definitely check it out if you haven't seen it.
Forget everything else and just say it to me.